Hi everyone, it's Roger here from what's on DisneyPlus.com. Hi everyone, it's all good. So we just jump in. So let's go. So let's hope you remember to unmute. Yes, Johnny, I've been doing a few audio tests to make sure we did have some issues next week. I actually have got a brand new microphone this week, so hopefully that's all going to help improve the quality of everything today. So today's live stream. Obviously, there's a little bit of time difference there. I'm 15 minutes earlier than I should be normally because I accidentally set the members question to kind of public. So everyone got to answer. So we got lots of questions. So I thought I'd spend the extra 15 minutes and just kind of run through some more questions. So all of the questions that normally come in from patrons and channel members. And we've got the live chat going right now, so I can see a number of people in there, including Johnny. We got Sarah, we got Ben, we got Bad Dog Gaming. So thank you all of that, and a big hello to Nathan for becoming a silver member. So I'll be jumping into the live chat as well as answering lots of questions. There's quite a lot of them, so it might be a bit shorter on some of the questions because there's quite a lot of them. So again, just a huge thank you for all of your support. Also just a quick note as well, the time in the US changed yesterday due to daylight savings time. Hasn't actually changed here in the UK for 2 weeks, so that's why technically I'm on schedule. So even though I might be late to the US, we're still kind of on the right time here. But like I said, we're going to do a few more questions and stuff earlier on. So let's jump into it. Let's jump into some of the questions. First off, from Patreon. So not the best question maybe to start with, but Amber asked on YouTube, why are some of the Andy Mack episodes not available on Disney Plus? Is it just in New Zealand or everywhere? That is actually everywhere. There are a number of episodes not missing. I suspect that is due to one of the actors, Stoney Westmoreland, got arrested and they maybe don't want to have those episodes available. So that's kind of the quick answer to that one. Okay, so Connor Hand asked, I noticed that there are many non-Disney Plus shows and films that have links on the British Disney Plus website via a simple Google search. All you do is type in Disney Plus GB and then search for dozens of titles that are not on Disney Plus, like The Greatest Showman or The Walking Dead. Is this a sign of things to come over the next couple of months? Unfortunately, I saw this the other week, and I don't think this is right, because I generally just think when they create a movie or a series in the database, it kind of automatically creates a load of basically regional versions of them, because there's a load of movies that they've got this for, like the BFG, Eddie the Eagle, that Disney don't even have the rights for in the UK. So I wouldn't hold any stock in the idea that just because you can find it with the GB logo that it'll be coming soon. It should be. There's a lot of stuff that will probably be coming at a later date, but I wouldn't necessarily go too much down the line. That's my personal view. I think that one is definitely not something I would think. So I just think that one there is just that it gets automatically created. A big thank you to Bad Dog Gaming for being a super chat and putting the first one in. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your support. So if you've got a question and you don't want to become a member, you can also do super chats. Let's finish off this first page and then I'll jump into some live questions. Gavin Scott asked, Big Sky took a break in the United States and is due to return with episode 10 on April the 13th. In the UK, we'll be getting episode 9 on the 9th. Do you think they'll be taking a break, or will we get episode 10 on the 16th? Well, I'm really hoping that we go straight on to episode 10. I don't think there's a reason why not. It would make sense now. Usually this is what used to happen a lot with Sky over here. We would get shows later than the US, but they would just keep running because they essentially would plan them to arrive and in that way. So that wouldn't happen. So therefore you kind of wouldn't have this issue with things go missing. Over here in the UK, we've never really had that kind of thing really with mid-season breaks. It's not something we have as much as they have in the US. So they would always tend to hold on to them, get through and then we would just go right through the mid-season break and then we'd just catch up. So I'm really hoping so. I'm really enjoying Big Sky. It's such a great series. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that series now. So yeah, that one's definitely a cool one. Okay, so we've got Joseph dropped a question on Patreon. We have 100 shows announced for the year. Do you think a digital Comic-Con, more animated shows could be announced for Disney Plus and Star soon? So I do think that they are going to be announcing lots of shows, and they do it at random events. I don't necessarily think things like Comic-Con or E3 or anything like that. This year is, again, so much of it's going to be digital events. They kind of get lost a little bit. I mean, at the upfronts, they did announce a number of dates and stuff, but they didn't really announce any special things. Disney don't really need to do that anymore. They can kind of do it themselves, put out a press release. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we did get announcements at San Diego Comic-Con if they do it. But last year was really kind of not so great. They might want to do it this year, but in some ways, they're so far behind. But I definitely think there's going to be some more announcements coming later this year. A lot of animated series and stuff. We've not really heard too much about it. But yeah, I will fully expect we will find out some more soon. Hopefully it won't be too long away, because yeah, we always like them more. But I mean, just the other week when they did the up front and they announced all the dates, I'm treating it like they do ABC and Hulu. I actually think that worked really well, because it kind of set up Disney Plus for the next like 3-6 months. I thought that was quite good when they did that. Something I wasn't expecting. Okay, so let's look here at some other questions here on the Patreon one. So Connor also asks, I know Solar Opposites second season launches on Hulu on March the 26th. Any word on what it launches as a Star original? Because they've been co-produced between Marvel and... So, yeah. So as far as it becoming, I suspect it will be coming. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it starts just dropping straight into it. I could quite easily see them doing that. I don't think we're going to be getting the whole season at once. I think Star seems to be trying to stay away from that. Though we had that Love and Corona where we had all of them drop. Hopefully we should find out. Generally this week coming up is mid-month. That's usually when we find out all of the kind of what's coming up ahead. I'm hoping we do get Solar Opposite Season 2, because I'm really enjoying that series. I think it's definitely got loads of things going on. So yeah, hopefully that one's coming through. So now I'm going to jump in and have a look at the live chat, see what we've got going on here. So Joe asks, Roger, do you think we could get Battle Angel in April, because it's coming off of Now TV on the 26th of March? Very, very likely. Hope so. I did watch that one and rented that one last year. It's a really good movie. It is available in some countries. So the fact once it leaves Sky, they might have the thing of where they don't like advertising it, so it might not arrive till maybe April or May, but I'm sure it'll be there soon. The random movie fan asks, I'm making an Indian movie for Disney Plus. Will they take it even though I don't have a company? I know generally Disney don't tend to take a lot of fan submissions. You have to go through the proper... They are very much about the fact of not looking at submissions. You've got to look into it a lot more than just sending it to them. You have to go through the different networks and stuff to go get through that one. Johnny asked, do you know when Gordon Ramsay Uncharted Season 2 will be landing on Disney Plus UK? Last time I checked, there was only Season 1. I check lists every week and I haven't seen it listed. Usually what happens with this one is we find out sort of round about the 15th of the month, we kind of find out. Let me just have a look on Now TV, because I know it's on. I've been seeing it on there for a while. I know we're not getting Season 3 straight away, because I've had that confirmed. We're not having it the same way the United States is having it. And I think that's obviously just the way it goes, but it depends really when it's leaving Sky. I hope it'll be on there soon, because I've actually watched a few episodes. I watched it on Sky just because of it not being available on there. Sarah says the big Sky question was in the podcast chat. Yeah, go check out our weekly podcast that me and James do. You can find it on all different platforms, audio, YouTube, etc. I'm just really enjoying Big Sky. My wife loves it as well. Johnny T asks, do you think there will be more Disney Plus originals from Disney Animation Studio and Pixar announced, except for the one? Yeah, there's going to be loads. They are going to be completely changing around how they're doing it. I don't necessarily know about Pixar. Pixar might have already kind of leveled it up. But Disney Animation Studios, I think you're going to see a big shift over the next year or so, where they're going to start pushing more stuff onto Disney Plus, or even just getting more things quicker. You know, maybe we start getting the episodes weekly. I'd just like that to begin with. Just get them having them at the same time as a Disney Channel internationally, everywhere. Get them all everywhere. The random movie fan said you're an independent movie. I think, yeah, you'd have to. You wouldn't just. It's very tricky with submissions, because they definitely take it very. But you might have to. You might be able to contact Hotstar and see how they do it. But I don't know necessarily if Disney would do it. Joe said, oh my god, next week it's amazing, so excited. Episode 2, can't find out what happens next. Episode 2 for what show? I can't remember which is that. Next is amazing. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I watched the first episode on Friday and was really enjoying that series. From first gets like, why has this been cancelled? But we don't, obviously people just didn't resonate with it. But I put a little Alexa literally behind the microphone and it was going off in that series. I'm going, ooh. It's hard when a series has been sort of dropped. You kind of don't really know. Right, let's now jump into some more questions from the YouTube. So again, this week, as I said, there's a lot more questions, so I'm going to try and run through them a little bit faster. Carbon Gamer asks, will Disney bring back the Through the Decades section? It's been gone since Star launch. It was literally my favourite section on Disney+. My suspect is they took it off to help the load on the server because too much stuff coming through. I'm sure they're working on it to bring it back, to sort all this out. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, and I'm sure they're trying to get it all right. Hopefully it comes back because, like you said, so many people have used it, and it's the search facility since Star come in is still a little bit wonky. The trending tab isn't working right. The what's new on Disney Plus doesn't show anything from Star. The Star, it's still a bit wonky. They've got to do a little bit more work on that one. Yeah. So as Sarah says, we're on a question speed run. The random movie fan asks, will Disney Plus have ABC News on there? It won't have ABC News like the live stream or anything like that. Hopefully we'll get some of the specials. I'm hoping we get the GameStop one that was announced for Hulu. I just watched one the other night on BBC about that one. Kind of tweaked my interest in doing a bit of online stock trading, to be honest, with all the stuff going on with GameStop. Retro Revival asks, how and when do you think Solar Opposites? Okay, we've done that one already. Thank you very much for loving the videos. Yep, so we've done that one from Connor. Nate asks, even though the US has parental controls and we haven't seen anything that would require a pin for parents, we are still getting to the same PG level back catalogue. Are we going to get more PG-13 content, or are we only ever going to get the same Disney Channel content, not including originals? Well, a lot of the National Geographic stuff sometimes borders on the 14. I know Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think, is classed as a 14 as well in some areas. I do think we are going to see a real shift. Now, in some way, they needed the parental controls to start kind of being able to get people used to it. I think some of the American audiences maybe need a little bit longer to kind of get around what Disney Plus is, and I think the parental controls allows them to start testing things a bit more, because they can turn around and go, well, you've got the parental controls, you can do something with it. I think National Geographic is where they can start teasing it, maybe start bringing in some of the ABC shows to kind of see how people react to it. I think we'll see a lot more of it going on, because they've already, if the same feedback that the international has all had about wanting more content, they are going to want to boost Star up, but they're still going to need to want to put a few things on there. So I think having the parental controls is about, they can start drip feeding stuff on there, just not me quite as fast as them doing like they did with us, where we suddenly got Predator and Aliens and things like that. Okay, let's jump back into some more of the questions. Dr. YouTube asks, will Disney Plus put Witch on its library, and if so, when? I'll be honest, I had to look into this one because I'd never heard of this show. So this show was originally a animated series on Jetix Europe, and it was also on ABC Kids and a Jetix block. The show is distributed by Disney, so there's no reason why it couldn't be. The picture format is quite low, so that might be a reason why they haven't got it on there. They'd have to do some work on it. There's 2 seasons. There are so many different series like this that it could be, but it's all going to come down to they've got to get it ready for the whole global distribution with subtitles. They've got to make sure it's high enough quality. They've got to work on it. They've got to remaster it a little bit. So that can be some of the reasons why we don't get these shows. I think they're going to just go through the back catalogue one by one, and they're going through maybe if enough people put in a request for it, it goes higher. You look at something like with what happens with the dinosaurs and Muppet shows. They are doing it, but they're kind of, I would say, going through some of the bigger ones first. So that's that one there. Let's jump into some other questions. So we have Man Mummerin. When the next Endgame level movie happens, where all the Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men fight the next big bad, what brand will Marvel use for that movie title, like Marvel's Avengers, X-Men, or anything else, according to you? I don't know if they can do... I don't think we're going to have that same kind of level of Endgame, where you're going to have everybody coming together, everyone kind of hitting hard at the same time. I don't think they're going to have to wait a while for that. I mean, we could be like 10, 15 years ago. It could be Galactus. Maybe that seems like a reasonable thing. The whole world is about to be destroyed or something like that. But I can't see them doing that same level of bringing everybody in. Let's jump now into the live chat, see what we've got going on over there. Joe asks, when do you think we could see Bless the Hearts on Disney Plus? Also, your autoplay is not working is yours? Also play on Disney Plus or on YouTube. I think they've turned a lot of stuff on Disney Plus off. I think that's ultimately the issue with that. They've done stuff to make sure the app is working. I also think WandaVision as well has had an impact on them with sort of doing too much. There's been some problems. So I think they have been sort of turning things off. So I'm just having a look here, see about bless the hearts, because I think, I haven't heard anything about it. Nathan asked, "What would you like to see? What would you like to see on Disney Plus?" I just want to see much more. I want to see more originals. It's kind of funny, really. What's happening right now with Star is kind of what I wanted, and I just want this to continue. Each week at the minute, we've got a choice internationally now of 6 to 7 series coming up. Every Friday we've got 6 or 7 series. We've got a few things. So this is really what I wanted it to be, was just choice. And everyone has choice of, like, you don't want to watch Dollface, you can watch Solar Opposites. That's what I want more of. I just want more live drama. The drama is what pulls people in, and I would like just more of that. That's definitely the thing I would like to see. When will the UK and Ireland get Mrs. Peregrine's for particular children? Do you know what? I was looking for this the other day because we're going to do an episode for the retro review. So at the minute it's on rent. It's not available anywhere, so I don't see why we haven't got it. But usually what you find is everybody else gets it, and sometimes the UK gets it a bit later because Australia already got it. So hopefully it won't be too long. Okay, so we've got Joshua asks, do you think Black Widow is going to be released on Premier Access since it's still... Yeah, I hope so, because... but if they're going to do it for us, they're going to do it for everybody. I still think they're going to do it. I still think they're going to do Premier Access. It might not be the same day. They might wait a week or two. And put it maybe a bit low. I don't know. They're going to want to get people back. I just don't know if there's enough. It's really tricky. I mean, we're only, 7 weeks away? They're going to have to make a call soon. And I think they're going to be watching the box office, see what happens with Raya. I could still see them. I mean, I don't think they're going to push it back again. I don't think they'd want to do that, but they are they've got to do something. They've probably got another couple of weeks to see how that goes. Joe asked, so here we go. We've got the Random Movie Fan asked, since the Golden Girls is coming to Disney Plus in the US, will they have shows like... Right, the Golden Girls aren't coming to the US. They're already on Hulu. They've been confirmed to be coming to Disney Plus in the UK in the summer. This whole happened on a live virtual event last month that I was part of, and they said about it being Golden Girls, and then a whole load of websites ran off with it, with saying it was coming to the US, and it wasn't. It was just bad reporting. It's not coming yet. I mean, I like them to put it on there because it's on Hulu as well, but yeah, no, it's a bit of a pain with that one. Johnny T asked, do you think Disney could lower the amount of profiles they have onto one account to get more people to pay? This is probably a few years away. I think it's tricky with profiles. I don't think it's the profiles are the problem. The profiles they can have, there's, if you've got, 4 or 5 profiles, everyone in the house, I don't think it's the profiles that they can do. What they can start doing, they just take away some of the concurrent views, or maybe check on how, like what Netflix have done this past week, where if you're not maybe on the same IP address, or if you're not located where you all are in the same place, this is going to start coming in much more. I wouldn't be at all surprised. Netflix has kind of been able to do this for years, and people have kind of gotten this whole idea of sharing IDs, and I'm not going to lie, my dad uses my Disney Plus account because I've generally viewed, why not? I've actually got 2 Disney Plus accounts, so I'm paying twice, so why not? And it was a bit along the lines of, well, he's only really going to watch The Mandalorian, so that was why we did it. But yeah, people do it. I mean, this whole thing, I understand why they don't want to do it, and I can see why that. I don't begrudge the companies for doing this. In some ways, it's become acceptable, but it's still technically not right. And I think, to be honest, there was a lot of people kind of taking the mick with it and taking it too far. And also people are selling, they'll buy an account and then split it up into 4 things. So I do think that they are going to do something, but I don't think it's necessarily profiles. I think it's more likely going to be, they can target it depending on where you are. That'll be how they get around it. The random movie fan: could movies from Universal such as Despicable Me and Fast and Furious come to Disney Plus in Spain? Um, I think it depends, because you've mentioned before with Universal and Disney's distribution, and that if they've got the distribution rights in Spain, that could be a way around it. That could be a look. So we're having a quick look here. So, I mean, we've had things like this in the past where some movies are distributed in different countries differently. Like Titanic is one that's distributed by Fox, by Disney now internationally, but in the US it's not. BFG, for example, over here wasn't done by them. So it's really going to come down to who's got the distribution rights, and if Disney do, then they could do it. Big thank you to Nathan for the super chat. Really, really grateful for your support. I'm really that really does mean a lot. Joe said, "Are you excited for Godzilla versus Kong this month?" Well, because we obviously don't have HBO Max, and I don't subscribe to Sky Cinema, I just feel like Sky Cinema is way too expensive. Kong versus Godzilla is a movie I would probably wait until it was on Netflix. I've enjoyed the previous Kong movies. I've enjoyed Godzilla movies. Yeah, it's kind of an odd one. I think it's I think it's definitely sort of a different way of doing it. So the random movie fan said it's for the quota. I don't think it would get around the quota for the European things, because they can make their own. Joe says, I can't believe it's St. Patrick's Day. It's Wednesday. Where has the time gone? Also, thank you very much for answering my question. Excited for this Q&A all day. Well, so to be honest, I have been excited. I do get excited. It's kind of weird. I kind of set everything up in the afternoon. I set it all down. And it was like, I came up and I was sat here like 20 minutes before testing out all the audio and stuff. And then going, I could just press go, but I've really got to keep on the schedule. But yeah, I did want to get going as well. Let's jump back now into some of the YouTube questions. Okay, so Crystal asks, will there be any Egypt documentaries coming to the platform? Does Disney Plus take stuff on the platform? So as far as Egyptian documentaries, I hope they put more on there. There's quite a few that I think most of it will probably come from National Geographic. I've always had an interest in Egyptian history. My auntie and uncle actually had a business out in Cairo. I've been out to Cairo myself and been to the museums and been to the pyramids and stuff. So I've always had an interest and kind of grown up like learning about Egyptian history. So I'd love them to have more on there, but it's all going to be pretty much down to if National Geographic put stuff on there. With regards to local content, that would depend if and when Disney Plus launches in that region. But yeah, no, Egypt, hopefully they'll put some more stuff in there on that one. Okay, Marcus asks, when do you think the second Kingsman will come out? It's not available on any other platforms at the minute, so hopefully it wouldn't be too long. They literally only added the Kingsman in the UK last minute when Star launched. The Golden Circle is already available in other regions. It's a really fun movie. I rented it last year. I love the Kingsman movies. I really think they're cool. Namaka asked, when will Disney Plus Hotstar be available in Malaysia? Hopefully it'll be later this year. They've not announced any more details on any releases in any other regions just yet. Hopefully we'll find out soon enough about what they're doing. Shouldn't be too much longer. They have been advertising for staff and stuff over there in the last few months. They've obviously been getting ready for the Thailand release. They've not announced anything about that one. I think they primarily were focused on getting Singapore up and running, and they've got Japan coming up, but there's not really been any more mention about that one. But we could hopefully find out about that very, very soon. Jumping back into these questions, so we have Simon. Will the Millennium series with Lance come to Star? Now, I did actually was like, Millennium series, what's this series? So I had a quick look, and I actually do remember it because it was kind of like from the same creators as X-Files. It's not available on any other platform, so hopefully it will come on there soon. A lot of this stuff comes down to the quality, but also if they've got the streaming rights to do it, and if they have to make some deals to kind of make it all go in. But I suspect what they'll start doing now is they've already said there's going to be 1,000 titles coming within the first year. So for most of us, that's nearly about 500 more titles to come. So they've got to start drip feeding. They're going to just drip feed them out. But also, if they do like that one for like the UK, it'll be available then probably then for everyone. It feels a little bit like the UK's been getting a lot of drib jabs that didn't because the US, was it Australia and Canada didn't really get a lot of Star stuff in March. The UK's been getting a little bit more because a lot of it's already been available. Okay, let's go back into the last question. Will Wander Over Yonder be on Disney Plus? I believe that on there is. I think it's contracted to Disney now. Hopefully to the end. I think it's the end of March. So hopefully it won't be too much longer till that one's available. I know there's a few shows on Disney now in the US. That's why they haven't been able to put on there yet. Again, it's all contracts. It's all down to contracts. Okay. Jump back into some live chats. So, Bad Dog Gaming asks, do you think the Fantastic Four could come to Disney Plus in the UK? Let me just have a look, see where it is at the minute. I believe it's on. Let's see, because I think we've got one coming up at the end of the month. So the original one from 2005 is. Not on there yet. I think, if I remember rightly, one of them is actually coming to the UK at the end of the month. In the US, they've been jumping on and off a lot. So that one's, I don't mind them. I didn't mind them. I preferred the first one. Johnny T asked, do you think the BBC could collaborate with Disney for some UK original content for Disney Plus and BritBox UK in the future, or is it a bit too ambitious? I think with regards to, BBC worked with FX for a while. HBO Max or HBO deals with BBC a lot, helps spread the cost out. I don't think Disney are really in that mode anymore. I think they've kind of gone past. They will work with companies, but it would be more. I would imagine if they're going to do it, they want distribution rights as well. It's a very tricky situation with. I think as well the BBC kind of got into this thing of getting other people involved. As far as, I mean, they can do shared exclusives and stuff. I think Breeders is a show that they've been working together, but their contract is coming up soon between BBC and FX. And I can't see HBO doing deals with BBC once HBO Max launches here, because they're going to be on it. So as BritBox goes, personally, I cannot stand that as an app for us over here in the UK. You know, ITV should have done its own ITV player with its own thing, and the BBC should be putting everything into the iPlayer to make it look like we're getting more value with our TV license. If you're unaware what happens here in the UK, we have the BBC license, and essentially if you watch live TV or you access the iPlayer, you are supposed to pay it. It's about £160 a year, and up till probably a few months, I think it was only last year, you had to have it if you watch television or if you watch live television. You had to pay for it, and you could go to jail and get fined if you didn't have it. It was compulsory to buy this TV license. It's now become they've kind of made it so it's not so you can't get arrested for it, but you can still get a fine and stuff. So they've kind of eased off. There's a lot of people going, well, I don't watch live TV, but there's a lot of stuff with that whole thing. Now let's jump back into page number, because we got quite a few here. Random Movie Fan asks, will Disney Plus have its own version of the Netflix interactive heard on the news? Yes, earlier this past week, WWNT put up an article about a pattern that had been listed for some interactive elements that will be done like on the server end rather than on the app end. You know, they've been experimenting with stuff. They're going to practice, they're going to play with this stuff, see where it goes, see what happens. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to watch interactive television, play a video game, but as cloud gaming and everything starts becoming more and more standardized, they are going to be wanting to move into that area. I just always remember books when I was a kid of, like, you know, choose your own adventure and stuff. So that's kind of with that one. Bad Dog Gaming asks, do you know if Love Victor Season 2 will be released on Star at the same time as it was released on Hulu? No, it won't be coming this month. I think it's coming out in June, I think it was. They haven't announced anything yet. We're still very much off that yet. There's been, like, it's all kind of gone a little bit quiet. I don't know if they've, you know, obviously they had the Star launch, so we're getting ready for that. And then they've had WandaVision, and now we're getting ready for Falcon. I think they're very much focused on that beat. It'll be interesting to see how it works with, like Rebel, when we start getting those episodes, because that's coming in May, and it's launching in the US in April. That's another series that I'm looking forward to. Just again, it's nice having choice. Woody asked, how are titles uploaded to Disney Plus? I know you've said it simply isn't simple as it sounds. Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't know exactly how it does, But it's not just a case of getting a DVD and just burning it on or uploading a file onto YouTube like I make it. They've got to make alternate versions in terms of, they've got to put the different audio versions in there for subtitles, for dubbing. They've got to make sure there's any requirements in terms of like paid programming that they've got to advertise it. There's also deals in terms of home video deals with every single series that gets made. It's treated as home media, so they pay a certain fee, but there's rights involved. There's a lot of stuff involved on the back end that we're not aware of. It's not just a case of putting a DVD in and uploading it, which I think some people kind of think it's just like uploading to YouTube. So Lit asks, do you think there'll be a second series of Sofa Springs on Disney Plus? I hope so. I'm hearing lots of good things. It's trending on Disney Plus in the top 10. I'm hoping so. Just more stuff. Yeah, so I hope they will be doing that one. Delaney asks, when will be the official trailer and poster for Loki? We've already kind of had one. We had a sneak peek back in December. I don't think we'll be having a trailer until after Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They're going to let that one have some room. And then we've got Black Widow. So I would expect maybe near the end. I can't imagine it before the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It just doesn't make any sense for them to do that right now. And Crystal asks, will there be any more Egypt? Oh yeah, we've done the Egyptian one already. So jumping back in here to the live chat, Johnny T said, have you got any screeners or early access for episode 1 of Falcon? If so, have you watched it? No, I haven't as of yet. I have asked for one, but I don't think any of the UK outlets have had it. I know a lot of the US ones have done so. I'm expecting the embargo will end tomorrow for them, so they'll be putting it out there. It's kind of happened before. I know with WandaVision they put out 3 episodes. I didn't get early access to them. I always go with the idea of early access is just something that is a bonus. I don't expect it. It's always just nice if you get it, but I don't ever expect it. And I'll be honest with the ones like WandaVision and Marvel, and I don't expect that. So that's honestly from that point of view. Joe asks, do you think we'll get the Relevant in the UK because it's currently shared with Amazon Prime and Now TV? Do you think Disney Plus could get it as well? Yes, at some point, but I think if it's already on 2 platforms, they might want to hold off until it's left there. They were very open during the event that they're pretty much just waiting for contracts to run out. The same thing that's happening in the US. So the random movie fan asks, will movies made for the quota in some countries like Life is Beautiful, Italy, 8th Flight Gas come to the US? It depends on the international distribution rights. This is what it all comes down to. All comes down to the rights. And I don't think if they were to go to the US, I think they're more likely to end up on Hulu. Netflix is showing that there is an audience for international content. I mean, I watched a couple episodes of Money Heist, which is a Spanish show on Netflix this afternoon. I'm really enjoying that series. People are watching it, whether or not it's just lockdown starvation of content. That's why I could see it much more on Hulu. It looks like Disney Plus, they're not going anywhere near they've put on a few Japanese ones maybe to test it. I hope they do. I really do kind of hope that they do it. Okay, so Joe says, do you think the movies will be more or less in April from the UK more modern? I'm hoping we start getting some of the more modern ones. We didn't get a lot when they launched. There was quite a few missing. Ford versus Ferrari was one, The Shape of Water, those kind of ones. I really want to watch Ford versus Ferrari. I keep missing it. So that one, and yeah, just start getting things more quicker. I mean, the fact we're getting Nomadland next month, I'm looking forward to seeing that one, just because it's got a lot of hype around it. Okay, Johnny TC, do you think any more local content from European countries dubbed or subtitles in English could land on Disney Plus in the future? Violet is an example of this. I think they're going to do it on a case-by-case basis. I wish they did. I wish they put more of it on. They don't necessarily have to put more advertising or stuff in there. I just think they should start doing it. And in some ways, if they're making all these shows, it's like, especially the ones down in Latin America, a lot of them are being made with, I think, with 3 different audios. So if they're doing that anyway, it kind of makes sense for them to maybe just do an English dub or something like that on top of it. Especially on the the more on the National Geographic stuff. I hope they put it on there. The more content, the better. If you're making it for one country, put it everywhere. Why not? Okay, so Bad Dog Gamer asks, do you think Love Simon will come to Disney Plus Star in the UK since Love Victor is on Star at the minute? Definitely. Again, once it's run out, let's just have a look, see where that one is now. Love Simon. And Love Simon is not available anywhere yet, but I know it was just recently been on Channel 4, so that might be why we've not got it yet. Sure, we'll do. I'm kind of watching it the wrong way around. So we've got, what else we've got? Nathan says, do you like having weekly episodes? I really enjoyed having the weekly episodes. I think it's perfect. I'm not a very good binger. I might watch a few episodes, but I do like the one episode a week. I think it works better. I'm an old fart. I like watching TV. If I catch up, you can let everyone catch up. But generally, as a whole, that's how I like it. I like just to kind of have that kind of thing of having them, having it weekly. I'd really like that one. I had a question just come in here from Joseph. With the WandaVision finale, could she be the big bad in the X-Men? Also wonder if Mystique was Hayward all along. Captain Mother's a Skrull. The thing is with WandaVision, I think, and I mean, the writers have been very open about this thing of, I think the fans' idea went off way off beast where they were expecting it to go, and I think maybe some people are massively overthinking how far they're planning. I think there's a number of characters like Mystico, which the writers hadn't even heard of, so they were making up their own things. And Johnny T said, I think Ford versus Ferrari, yeah, it's called Le Mans 66 in the UK. I don't know why. It doesn't help for me as well, because obviously getting all the information from the US and monitoring the US situations and monitoring US news, I do get a little bit used to the term of how it's called. It's like Zootopia. Zootopia is Zootopia to me. It was Zootopia for months and months and months, and then suddenly, it's Zootropolis, and I'm like, oh, what? Yeah. So I'm kind of used to that with TV shows and movies now. Okay, let's jump now into some more questions from the YouTube side. So, number 4. We got 5 pages today. It was quite a lot. Okay, so Michael asks, I know Doogie Howser MD is currently streaming on Hulu, but do you think the US could get the original series before Doogie Kamealoha HD MD arrives on Disney Plus? I hope so. I hope they put it on there. It would make a lot of sense to help build up expectations for this series. So I'm hoping so. Yusuf asks, when will Secrets of Sofa Spring be on Disney Plus UK? They've not announced when it is. I don't know why, as it should be, because we haven't got the Disney Channel, so we've completely missed out. I don't know what's going on with that lot. So we've then got KD. Sorry, I can't read that one. Will Disney ever release the Disney Treasures series on Disney Plus? I hope they do, because I was looking into this earlier. The Disney Treasures, full of classic stuff. There's so much content out there that people are after. They're just going to make sure it's up to quality. If it's already on DVD, you'd hope that it would be. But yeah, they've got to add more lives. They've got to add some more of this older content. There's a big audience there for it. The trouble is, it doesn't pull in as many people. But I'm really hoping they can just keep drip feeding out. I'm hoping they do a lot more than they have done in the last year, because it's been kind of pitiful. So here we go. Yusuf asks, will Shark Tank ever come to Disney Plus? I can't see it happening in the US, because it's more likely it's a Hulu show. Internationally, it's a little bit more tricky, because over here it's called Dragon's Den and is made by the BBC. So they might not have distribution rights, because there's already... This is the thing sometimes with regional versions of shows. They're not allowed to be like... It's like, we've got the Dragon's Den, and then they've sold it to the US as Shark Tank, and then it's like, well, that's your region, you don't come into here. So sometimes that's how that all works. Nathan asked, Malcolm in the Middle on Disney Plus? I hope so. I would hope that they originally announced this one back in April. They said that Malcolm in the Middle, but over here in the UK, we've seen it advertised recently on Channel 4. In the US as well, it was on... I think it was on Amazon as a freebie, IMDb. I think it was a free series on there. They should be. I don't understand how you can have a sitcom with a family not on there. and they have said about it before. Johnny T asked, do you think that Disney Plus will create some more horror originals for Disney Plus in the future? For example, like the R.L. Stein adaptation. I think they will be doing more. I think the terminology, I always hear the word horror, and I kind of go, okay. But obviously things like Goosebumps, maybe even Secrets of Sofa Spring, they can kind of toy on the idea of what horror is. And you also put in a question here: when American Horror Story season 10 comes out, will it go to Disney Plus, Star or Sky? All existing contracts of where they are. I would go with the idea of it. Expect them to go to where they've been before first. That would be the way I would look at it. I know that there's a new spin-off series that is going to be coming to Star as a Star original. So there is. I think that's American Horror Stories. I think they've slightly tweaked it, so it's not the same show. But yeah, if it's been available on another channel, I suspect there's a contract in place. A bit like what's happening with Grey's Anatomy here in the UK. Martin asks, will Boss Level on Hulu ever come to Disney Plus in Europe? I don't think it will do, because they only brought the United States distribution rights for that movie. So that one was the one on that one. So again, big thank you then for joining and signing up for that one. Let's jump back now into some more of the questions. So we've done. Here we've got Mick asked at the bottom here. Are there any other Star Wars series coming this year after Bad Batch? Well, we know we've got Star Wars, the Book of Boba Fett coming at Christmas, sort of December time. So there's at least one series. There's probably going to be something else in there. They've announced a lot of series. I wouldn't be surprised if we got that like anime series that they announced, Visions, or the Droid Story. There's going to be some little animated series, I'm sure of it. I am expecting at some point there is going to be another new animated series announced as well, to be going on. But I think Bad Batch and the Book of Boba Fett, that's all we had last year. We had Clone Wars and Mandalorian. Sort of seems fine to me for that one. Okay, last page for the questions. So we've got Jessica asks, what do you think about Raya and the Last Dragon? I did post my review about 2 weeks ago. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I thought that was such a great movie. So Dev asks, will the Muppet Show arrive on Disney Plus Hotstar? I hope so, but it might come down again to maybe them trying to make more dubbed versions or more subtitles. It's a bit of, I know, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier's having a lot more stuff on there, so they might want to do that. But it's the Hotstar one is always a bit of a crazy one. They don't always get everything the same way that the rest of the world does. Hopefully you guys get it soon. Michael asks, I see that Genius refit is coming to Disney Plus as a Star original, but in the US, could we see those 3 seasons coming before the 4th season arrives? Well, the 4th season of Genius is actually going to be a Disney Plus original, and it's based on Martin Luther King. So, in my seasons 1 are available in some countries. Seasons 1 and 2 are already available in other countries. So I fully suspect that they will be added. They've also got the. I don't see how you can not put it on there. If you've made season 4 a Disney Plus original, you've kind of got to put the other ones on there. I expect they'll be holding that one maybe for the winter when they can drop it on there. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully, yeah. So I'm looking forward to watching Genius, and I haven't seen the first 2 seasons, so I am going to be looking forward to them as well. Okay, so here we go. Right, so Keith asks, when do you think Star will expand to other places like India? Well, it's in India. It doesn't need to, because you've already got Hotstar, which has already got mature content. I think they are going to be putting more 20th Century Studio stuff on there. It's just a matter of time and priorities. Johnny asks, do you think more Star originals will be announced soon for the UK? The April announcement. Yes, so I'm expecting the April announcement at some point during this week, because usually they arrive around about the 15th, which is tomorrow. So over the next few days, I'm expecting us to start getting some information on the US, UK, Australia, and Canada lists. I know we're getting Growndish. Growndish, I can't say that one right. And we've still got... the thing is with April, we've still got episodes of Love Victor, Next, Dollface, and Big Sky and Love Victor dropping right the way through April, so they might not want to put too many on there. But the Solar Opposites obviously is coming to an end, and then I'm hoping then we get MODOK in May as well. Hopefully we'll start getting that one dropped. To be honest, for me, I'd rather if Hulu are getting it all at once, we should get it all at once at the same time on the same day. Let's get some synergy going here. Jordan asks, why isn't season 4 of the Cleveland show on Disney Plus yet? Gonna come down to contracts. That's what it comes down to. Everything comes down to contracts. Saeed asks, is Disney buying Dormigan's streaming rights like Miraculous? They could very easily. They are obviously showing that they are willing to buy streaming rights to a lot of content. There's a bidding war going on now for everything. So I think we are going to see a lot more of this going on. We saw it with Miraculous this week. They are going to be picking up stuff. Also, just this past week, Dino Ranch was another show that they've picked up. So they are going to be picking shows up. And the final question, will New Mutants come to Star? Yes, it will do. It's actually already available. I think it's already out in Spain. I think it got added there. They might just be holding off to make it a bit more of a bigger announcement for when they do that one there. Cause I watched it last week and I really enjoyed New Mutants. I thought it was a great movie. So there we go. That was all the pre-done questions. I will remember next time. There was a lot. I did look at it and go, why have I got 45 questions? That's a lot more than normal. And then I realised what I'd done. So yeah, it was open to everyone. So I'm gonna be but I decided that it was like I'd be better off doing an extra 15 minutes and kind of answering your questions since I did ask everyone. So I think that was only fair to do. Okay, let's jump back into the live one. So we've got about 5 to 10 minutes left. So we have got Joe asks, Hulu had a trailer for all the new shows coming out this year. Do you think we'll get a Star trailer in the UK? I don't think we will yet. I think they're still filming a lot of the stuff for later. A lot of the ABC shows and Fox shows that we'll be getting later this year. Unless the US have shown anything off, we're not going to see it. Hulu's a little bit different, I think, sometimes, because they've just been buying a lot of stuff in. Buying a load of stuff in. As Sarah said, yes, this was a free trial for the live Q&A. Definitely, it was a bit of a free trial there. I had thought, it's like, okay, let's see about doing the chat, but I don't think we'd be able to do it with the amount of people watching. It would be a bit difficult. So Martin asked, do you know if Disney has any plans on making original content in the Nordic countries? They haven't announced anything as of yet. It depends really primarily on, I'd imagine, how many people are watching, how many subscribers they've got, and also do they have to do it? I suspect they are going to have to do something there of doing something for every country's going to have to. And I think they've just primarily focused on the countries where they've got the most amount of people. It would make sense for them to do. I mean, some of the Nordic shows that they've made in the past, not necessarily Disney, but some of them have gone on, like, I think, was it The Killing? Was that and there was a few other shows that have gone on to been made and gone on to be really big hits. So I suspect they'll be doing a lot more original content everywhere, but it's going to come down to cost. If I'd imagine more likely to be a good way of getting around it is to film stuff in these countries. This is why I think we got Star. This is why I think the international reason was it's easier for them to throw in some shows under Star, some reality TV shows, bits and pieces, because if it wasn't for Star, it'd have to be Disney. And that makes things a lot harder. As Sarah said, yes, it was a free trial of what's on Disney Plus. Well, luckily, I do try to make it so everyone can enjoy everything. I've tried doing stuff in the past. We used to do the Q&A originally was just for members, and then I kind of opened it up to everybody, and then we moved into the live streaming. Same thing with the retro reviews. As much as a lot of the things with like Patreon and YouTube channel members about making exclusive content, I feel a little bit like I don't really like putting things too much behind a paywall in terms of everyone being able to watch stuff. If I'm going to create it, I'd rather like have everyone watch it, but obviously there has to be a trade-off, and this is what we do with the live chats and stuff. So Johnny T said, when do you think the Alien and the remaining Die Hard ones could land in the UK? There is a lot of different they've all got different dates. If you go on to Now TV and they actually put those movies in, they'll come up, because some of them are coming up already. Some of them are coming up in August. Some of them are coming a bit later on. They're all just old contracts that they've kind of got to get through. But I really want to, as long as Die Hard's ready for Christmas, that's what I want. I don't need to watch it now. I want to watch it in November or December. When I will get my Christmas movies on, that's when I want Die Hard on there. Big help. Big thank you again for Nathan for your super chat. That is a massive help and a massive really does make a big difference. Big thank, yeah, can't thank you enough for that one. So here we go. So Joshua asked, does Disney still have the distribution rights to Power Rangers, or were these brought back from Halem? They don't have the rights to the TV series. They sold them all off. I think it was back to Hasbro, and they do have the distribution right for a couple of the movies. But yeah, they hadn't really planned ahead on that one. They hadn't planned on it in advance. I think Power Rangers could have been. I mean, I used to love that show as a kid. And my nephew loves Power Rangers. Last Christmas I brought him tons of robots and stuff, and I brought my red Power Ranger costume and stuff. So yeah. Johnny T asks, do you think Disney will ever add Watch It in the Woods to Disney Plus? I noticed it was on Disney Life and missed the opportunity to watch. Disney Life was a bit of an odd one, because I had been a member of Disney Plus or Disney Life since it launched. I remember it being like £10 a month, and it had mobile games and books, and I liked it for the music. I was just listening because I tend to listen to the music a lot on Spotify, but I was using that. And then they reduced the price, but they took a few things away. I think the trouble is, like, from our point of view, so if you remember, they're going, well, you had it on that, why can't you just put it on Disney Plus? It's an entirely different team, different structure, because I think essentially if they put it onto Disney Plus in the UK, it opens up for them to be able to put it everywhere else. Joshua asked, do you think there could ever be a revival of the Drayden Files? Now I'm going to have a look. Dresdale Files? I've got no idea what that one is. So let's have a look to remind myself what that one is. It's a series about... yeah, they could do it. I'll be honest, I've never heard of it. That was a series... it's got the guy from The Flash in. Yeah, to be honest, never seen that one before. Joe said, I can't believe DuckTales is coming to this week, season 3 so fast. It's only just finished on Sky. Disney, it's really shaping up. I have only watched a couple episodes from season 1. I've really not kind of got caught up on it. I do have an issue sometimes with these Disney Channel shows, because they are arriving so late after they've aired. The buzz has got. I think if it was dropping weekly, I'd be much more likely to check out an episode or two. Sarah asked Josh, have you read the books? And he said they used to be a series years ago, but it went away. A lot of this is going to be down to if they think there's enough. If there's enough people to watch it, that's when they'll do it. Okay, so we're going to do about another 3 more minutes, and so we'll end at 20 to 9. I'll have a quick drink, so if you've got any more questions, feel free to drop them in now. Yep, so this one's going good. Hopefully the audio's been alright. I've got this new one that's good. Sarah said that they were great. They were great books, entertaining read, narrated, but I haven't read them. I'm going to be honest, I don't read books very much. The only time I read books, when I'm on vacation. Usually they're either Star Wars novels. I've read a couple of Marvel novels. I've also read some Disney history books. I quite like that. And then when I'm sat on the beach, I can plow through a book a day. So I don't read for a year, and then I'll sit on the beach and I can read 7 books in a week. So I'll be honest, when eventually this whole thing is over and I can have a week off, I've got quite a few Star Wars novels that I want to catch up on. Johnny C said the audio has been nice and clear. Good, that's what I wanted. That's what I brought the new microphone. I realised with my old microphone, I brought it for doing an Disney Infinity podcast that we started 7 years ago. And it was probably time to upgrade it. Joshua asks, are there any franchises that Disney have looked into? Right. They actually... This past week, and I'm probably going to do a couple of videos on it the next day or two, Searchlight and ABC and Fox have just been buying up rights to youth novels just all over the place. They've been buying tons of them, and I think that, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense for them to kind of use pre-established books and find other things. Yeah, so there will be a lot more. Joshua says, no gremlins, no earthquakes, etc. It's about, if we had an earthquake here, we don't get them very, very often. It's not a huge thing that we have here in the UK. Yeah, that would. I've been in an earthquake in Mexico, and I don't really would like to go with that one for again. No gremlins. We did literally just like 2 minutes before we went live. The audio flashed, came up what we had before. I'm like, no, please don't do that. Right, so Johnny T says, do you think Lucasfilm could bring out more series, show specials from other projects than Mandalorian in the future? They are working on a lot of shows. They're working on Willow. They're also working on a new book that I can't think of the name of it, Children and Bones, I think. They are going to be doing more stuff. You know, they recently changed the name of like their video game section to Lucasfilm. I think they're looking now of trying to branch out a little bit and step away from Star Wars, but they do make other stuff. So Joe said, when do you think we will get the other War of the Planet of the Apes? Because it's not streaming anywhere else. It might be that it takes a little bit long. I don't know when. There might be when it leaves Sky, it might have like a 30-day exclusion or 60-day exclusion. Josh said, in the UK, the wrong type of leaf causes chaos. So pet earthquakes in the podcasts. Oh yeah, that was James's cat jumped on the table. And to be honest, sometimes I do wonder with my dog whether when she's snoring, it does kind of sound like one. Right. On that note, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that did a super chat, everyone that became a member, for all the live members. It really is fantastic doing this and kind of being in with you guys and just kind of being part of the community, answering questions. We had loads this week, so that's why we did a little bit longer one. But again, thank you very much for all of your support. Remember, you can become a podcast, you can become a member, or you can become a Patreon, and it really does help support it. I'll be back next week. It'll be the same time. It'll be 8 o'clock as normal UK time. But obviously the times have changed in the US. I think you're about an hour in front of us. So this is the time slot we're going for at least. I'm looking at like a few months for a while. Eventually I might move it off Sunday to have a day off. But I'm really enjoying doing the live chats, and it's going to be something that we'll be continuing to do. But on that note, guys, thank you very much. Thank you to everyone in chats. Big thank you to Sarah, Joe, Joshua, Bad Dog Gamer, Nathan. Thank you very much, guys.